Was Milton Friedman the original modern monetary theorist? So, modern monetary theory, basically the idea that the government can pretty much print money on demand. And people will say, oh, so you can print unlimited amounts of money. No, not necessarily. Am I a modern monetary theorist? No, because I'm not a liberal. But I get the idea behind it. It makes sense. In fact, I do agree with it in some regard. I.e., the point being the government interest is a deficit to the government, but it's a surplus to the family household. And I completely agree with that. Who gets the interest off the government debt? Well, we do. And once you hear that, you're like, oh, that does make sense. The government takes a deficit, we take the surplus, and we are better off because we have more money in our pocket, less money in the government's pocket, all right? Anyway, so that kind of makes sense. Now, the issue with modern monetary theorists is they think they can do this and then just magically put it on a brake on when inflation is kicking in. They say, oh, we'll just stop the spigot once inflation kicks in. If we've learned anything with Doge, we can't. Once the money is being spent and people get accustomed to it, no one wants to see it reduced. No one does. It's crazy. So you can't just magically turn off the spigot. All right, so why do I say Milton Friedman? Because he would not agree with this at all, this assessment of modern monetary theory at all. But here's the issue. So Nick Gillespie, I was reading this on my Twitter feed, X feed, posted a comment by Steve Hanke, who's a economics professor at Johns Hopkins, where I'm sure he still is. He's been like that for years. I used to read Steve Hanke back, in the 90s when Forbes magazine used to be a legitimate news rag, and now they're horrible. I think they just basically sell out to anyone who, I don't know, but I think if you want to pay Forbes enough, they'll publish you, and you can say, I'm a Forbes contributor. It's embarrassing. Anyway, Forbes just sucks. It's embarrassing. Steve Forbes and Malcolm Forbes' namesake is so just horrible. So Steve Hanke was posting something by Milton Friedman to basically talk about capital account surplus and current account deficits. Essentially, the idea is there's no such thing as too much capital account surplus. So what is a capital account surplus? Well, it means that countries send their money to us. They value our dollar, they value our currency, they value our economic position, and so they will send their money to us, all right? In exchange, we give them a solid rate of return on their investment with no whole lot of shenanigans in terms of our capital markets and whatnot. So we have a capital account surplus. Now, we also have with that is a current account deficit, i.e., we buy a hell of a lot more goods than we sell. It's a hell of a lot of goods. I don't even know what it is now. Almost like $1 trillion or something like that. It's a current account deficit. All right, so what we do is we export dollars to buy Chinese goods, and in turn, Chinese gets those dollars. Well, man, that's kind of creepy. I don't know if you can see that, but you had these crows on that cemetery thing. That's kind of creepy. Anyway, so we buy Chinese goods with our money, we export our money, and then they turn around and reinvest it in the United States and U.S. bonds and real estate and all this stuff. So Steve Hanke and Milton Friedman say, hey, that's great. Keep doing that. You can't have too much capital account surplus. Or the other side of that is current account deficit. And it's idiotic, because the issue is, of course you can, because at some point you have to be able to produce things to have your economy running. You can't just have a service economy. That's it. You can't. I don't care how solid your capital markets are. At some point, if you don't make anything and you buy everything, no country is going to say, oh, the American economy is solid. Why? Well, because they buy everything from us. That's just, no one's going to do that, man. They don't make anything. No one is going to invest their money there, i.e. for us to take a capital surplus if we don't produce stuff. I don't understand why economists can't see this. If you had a 100% capital surplus and a 100% capital current account deficit, i.e. you make nothing, no country is going to say, that's great, let's keep sending your money to the United States, because this obviously is going down. It's kind of like the MMT people, man. MMT, at some point, you got to turn the spigot off, or else you're going to have massive inflation. Even I agree with that. And the same thing here. At some point, you've got to produce something, or else the economy is going to go bankrupt. I don't understand how people don't see this. If you don't make things, people aren't going to invest in you anymore. They'll invest in you for a while, but if you stop making things, i.e. have a 100% capital account surplus and a 100% current account deficit, we make nothing. People aren't going to invest in your country anymore. This isn't, oh, they're going to invest in it because what? For what? Literally for what? If you don't make something, they're not going to invest. This is crazy talk to me, man. And so these guys are sitting there, capital account surplus. How dare Trump doesn't know the difference between current accounts and capital accounts. Capital accounts being people value our country, our ability to protect their assets and grow. Dude, that can't work forever. At some point, you've got to make things. I know I'm being repetitive here. It's just crazy to me. I'm sitting there thinking, and I just, never mind. So I posted on this. I said, just wait till Milton Friedman finds out that we're relying explicitly on foreigners to keep the electricity going. Oh, no, we don't, Josh. Oh, yes, we do. Because we don't make enough of our steel. Because we don't make enough of our steel, we don't have our large power transformers. We don't make those. And if you don't know what a large power transformer is, it steps up or steps down the voltage so it can move the voltage efficiently from the generation source to your house. Large power transformers do that. You don't make those, you're relying on other countries, and the other countries say, yeah, we're not going to do business with you anymore. Then your electricity will completely be gone. But we have a capital account surplus, Josh. We don't need to do that. As long as capital account surplus, we just buy from other countries. It's crazy to me. Anyway, so I guess Milton Friedman was the epitome of the MMT, except instead of we can print unlimited dollar bills, we can have we could basically buy everything from other countries until, why not? Why not? It's crazy. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.